Doom v Vamus Vivamus Epicureans. This is the Marvel Epic Collection Podcast One-Shot Edition. I'm your host, Nick Smith, and I'll be joined by Stojr in just a little bit. We are participating in Kurtis Findlay's Epic Marvel Podcast Reading Club, and this one-shot is going to be our brief thoughts on today's issue, which is Uncanny X Men number 148, Cry Mutant. Alright, so we shift gears a little bit. Cyclops and Lee Forrester are still stranded in the Caribbean, but come upon a mysterious city with many nautical decorations which would make Namor proud. Back in New York, Angel is unhappy with a psychopath like Wolverine being part of the team. Banshee is greeted by his long-lost daughter, and apparently the X-Men have made friends with Spider-Woman in her own magazine. Well, Jessica Drew, also known as Spider-Woman, she joins Storm, Kitty, and Stevie, which you'll recall as Kitty's dance teacher. They go to watch a performance by Dazzler, which is then crashed by a mysterious mutant named Caliban, who seems to feed off of the emotions of others and turn them into a force. Well, the X-Men talk Caliban down from his attack, but he flees when they offer the hand of friendship. Well, the issue finishes back with Cyclops and Lee Forrester, who are greeted by Magneto, who claims to be the owner of the mysterious city that the two just discovered. There are a lot of things happening in this issue, honestly. The main story is the Caliban fight, and of course the appearance of Caliban will eventually set up a group of underground mutants that we're going to meet sometime in the future. So, I guess, slight spoiler there. I know I'm a little late there, but yeah, I'm not giving too much away. The appearance of Spider-Woman I thought was rather jarring. I get that we're going to have crossovers with other Marvel characters, but she really does come out of nowhere here. I did like the way Dazzler's effects were being handled, though. Lots of psychedelic shapes, lots of colors. I really liked the way Dave Cockrum set that up. I guess this is the first time we see his version of Dazzler, but I thought that was well done. There were a surprising number of splash pages in this issue, I thought. The first and last pages are both splash pages. And then we get a double-page spread revealing the nautical city that Scott and Lee are exploring. Now, Jack Kirby could probably get away with this type of thing with so many different splash pages. But I seem to recall reading somewhere once that Marvel artists were encouraged not to do a whole lot of splash pages. That is kind of taking away from what the readers could enjoy. You know, it takes up too much art and you don't have enough exposition. Of course, that changes when we get into the modern era where bigger, splashier panels, that's all the rage. But I'm just kind of surprised to see it here with Cochran. I don't mind it. It's nice. I love seeing the artwork. It was just a little surprising. Okay, those are my thoughts on this issue. We're going to pass this on to Stojr to get his thoughts, and, well, I'll be back in a minute to wrap it all up.
All right, I'm here to talk about issue 148 of the Uncanny X Men. This one's called Cry Mutant, and Claremont does a great job of balancing a large cast here in this issue. You get basically different vignettes of where everybody's at. So it starts off with Cyclops and Lee, who are in this city that kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think that this is ever really explained what the origins of this weird-looking alien undersea city is. If I missed something there, I apologize, but a quick Google search told me that that Cockrum had some ideas of giving this an origin and a backstory, but those were scrapped and they never really happened. So you get this sort of blossoming relationship between Lee and Cyclops is obviously still mourning the death of Jean. And this kind of feels a little awkward and rushed. I think that from Lee's perspective, there's no right way to grieve, so her trying to find comfort in somebody else makes sense. Cyclops not wanting to do things. So, like, while it feels weird and rushed, it also feels very natural for two people kind of thrown into this world. But from a plotting perspective, you know, it still bothers me that we didn't see the boat crash. It kind of happened off panel, and now you have these two shipwrecked people. No idea what happened to the rest of the crew. I guess they all died, or you know, they just got separated. There might have been a comment made in a previous issue about that. And you know, these two are kind of finding their way together. Cockrum's obviously drolling her, you know, very seductively. You know, her top's like half falling off, so you know, it's sort of tempting Cyclops, but not really, because he can't see. So, she keeps hugging him and things like that. Next moves on to Wolverine and I'm having a brain fart here. Wolverine and Nightcrawler, obviously. So Wolverine and Nightcrawler doing a little training mission without the danger room out in the woods. This is nice little interactions. It kind of shows their relationship as it builds over time. This will happen many, many times over the years. So always nice to see that short little spread. Angel showing some animosity towards Wolverine and sort of leaving the team, at least as it appears in this issue, as well as a true introduction of Ileana in this issue, because she was a Westworld robot in previous issues. Then we get a new character, Teresa Rourke, or at least new to the X Men book, because she appears in Spider-Woman number 37. And I don't really understand the decision for mapping of why Spider-Woman 37 and 38, which have things to do with the X-Men, have the introduction of Teresa Rourke in this world, why those aren't in this book. Especially when in previous volumes you had things like the Havoc and Spider-Man team-up issues and things of that nature. So that felt a little odd. We get a new somewhat villain, Caliban, as well as this sort of girls' night out with Kitty and Dazzler and Spider-Woman and Storm, as well as Stevie. This is kind of a fun little adventure. It's good to see Kitty experimenting with her powers, and the different team members kind of playing off of each other as they go through this. Caliban kind of looks a little silly. Obviously, his costume, if you know this character from either the Old Man Logan or the Wolverine movie, as well as the Morlocks and other types of media, you'll know that this character has been kind of reused a bunch of times. And this all leads into a great final page, splash page that Cockrum is drawing, the reveal that Magneto is behind this sort of island environment. Very interested to see where this will go. Obviously, this has the title of the overall Epic collection. And I think this is the beginning of some real interesting character development for Magneto. Until next time.
All right, thank you, Stojr, and thank you, the audience, for watching and listening. We'll be back again tomorrow with another one-shot, and you can check us out on YouTube, where we post the episode schedules and currently have a poll for you to choose which Epic collection we will read and review in March. Check that out, and go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you like what we're doing. I put Stojr and my link trees in the description if you ever want to find us on the internet. So thanks again, and we'll catch you next time for another episode that will be just as epic.